The Buckeyes got a win on the road in Rutgers. Final score 35-16. Ohio State coming into the game with a number one ranking from the College Football Playoff Committee. Not sure if they did enough to preserve that ranking, especially with Georgia now having a victory over currently 12th ranked Missouri. You might look at the final score and think to yourself, well, they won by a decent bit. Rutgers 6-2 heading into this game. How can that be that they might be in jeopardy of losing their number one ranking? Probably has a lot to do, and at least in my opinion, with the first half going absolutely terrible for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They trailed 9-7 at the half. It wasn't a serious first half, especially if you have a number one ranking next to your name. The offense was especially bad. Defense, I don't think they were amazing either. They were missing Denzel Burke and Lathan Ransom. Has to be next man up in that situation, though. Especially, again, if you have the number one ranking next to you, nobody's going to feel bad for you about your injury situation. You also have Mayan Williams, who it was revealed that he's going to be out for the rest of the season. So Trey Henderson, hopefully he can stay healthy, because if Trey Henderson has to miss more time due to injury, things might have to start getting a little bit more creative at the running back position. Only now allowing 9 points and a half is a positive, but a lot of those points came off of Rutgers opting for field goals deep in the red zone. It was very, very bend, don't break, which that can get you by against a team like Rutgers for a while until the offense starts to kick in. That's not going to fly against a better team at the end of the season in Michigan. Something I will say, though, that trick play, fumble Ruski, that Rutgers ran on that 4th and 1, that was just a great play call and execution. That's a tip of the hat to Schiano for dialing that play up at the perfect time. The Ohio State defense completely not ready for it, and I honestly don't blame them for that. But then there was the Ohio State going for it on 4th down. That was a complete disaster. Ryan Day saying it was a miscommunication. That is not what was supposed to happen, that it can't happen. A lot of people kind of looking at the special teams coaching and the communication, and it's been a little bit spotty for this season and in the past couple of years, actually, with Ohio State. But what was troubling to me was, as far as Rutgers and the defense goes, was the Scarlet Knights' success that they had running the football. They were getting a lot of work done on the ground. Monungai had a monster game for the Scarlet Knights. He definitely was a key force in leading Rutgers to a 9-7 halftime lead. McCord threw a bad interception right before half as well. Kyle McCord still not looking like exactly like what caliber quarterback that Ohio State fans are used to seeing. That's a theme that continued this week. And again, as we get further and further along into the season, and we're still not seeing that big breakout improvement from Kyle McCord, I think reality is starting to set in a little bit that this might just be the guy like McCord is. Not necessarily it's not all bad all the time with McCord, but it is a bit hot and cold, and you're not really sure what you're going to get from drive to drive, really, with Kyle there. But early in the second half, it looked like Rutgers would be able to at least extend their lead by a field goal. However, Rutgers, Greg Schiano, they decided to get cute and try to pass the ball. Again, they were having some great success on their first drive, just running the ball down Ohio State's throat, but they tried to get cute and threw the ball. It results in a pick six with Josh Proctor breaking up the pass, and then that fell into the hands of Jordan Hancock, who took it all the way to the end zone to put the Buckeyes in the lead. Josh Proctor would leave the game following that play, although he seemed to be okay and in high spirits and moving around just fine on the sideline. That play gave the Buckeyes a 14-9 lead. Definitely a huge shift in momentum from the defense, who had been conceding maybe a little bit more than we're comfortable with. That definitely seemed to calm the game down a little bit. Ohio State never in danger of trailing after that. They were always up by, if it wasn't a couple scores, then it was just one score and they were getting the ball back. And then after that, the offense did start putting some points up on the board, including a couple of jump balls to Marvin Harrison Jr. in the end zone. If you leave him in one-on-one coverage time and time again, McCord will just keep throwing it to him, and chances are he will get a 50-50 ball down in the end zone eventually. So they pull away in the second half, pull off a 35-6 win. Trey Henderson was electric once again. Again, if he can stay healthy, they've had a little bit of an issue with him continuing to get hurt. He's been kind of made of glass lately, but if Henderson can stay healthy, then that running game is always going to have a possibility of being electric. And the quarterbacks, they're both a little banged up, I think, with Kyle McCord and Devin Brown. They were both seen wearing, I think Devin Brown was seen wearing a brace in pregame, and Kyle McCord was seen with some tape on his ankle. So maybe there was some effects from some lingering injuries on Kyle McCord's performance. But again, when your the program that Ohio State is, and you come up with a number 1 ranking, no one's going to really take into consideration like, oh, well, it's okay that they didn't play up to their standard because, well, some of their guys were hurt. They weren't exactly playing at 100%. Injuries are going to impact almost pretty much every football team at some level. And again, they got away with that against Rutgers. That first half was pretty bad. Not just on the offense, even though the defense only allowed 9 points. I do feel like they were conceding a lot more than you would like them to, especially on the ground in the trenches. It did feel like the Rutgers running game it wasn't just Monongai going completely just making everybody miss. It was a physical battle that Rutgers, they won that physical battle a lot of the time in this game. Eventually, the Buckeye defense, they did hunker down in the second half, just like the team did improve in the second half. But the theme of having these slow starts and like steamrolling that into a better second half, that is nice when you get that second half to go and that final score looks nice. But again, if you do have that bad start against a team like Michigan, that's going to turn around and bite you in the butt in the end. But that's going to do it for this video. For now, Ohio State's still undefeated, still have a couple of tune-up games to go before that matchup with the Wolverines and Ann Arbor. You can let me know what you think about this game and how the Buckeyes will fare in the future down in the comments section below. Once again, thank you for watching. Made it this far into the video. Leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more like it, and I will see you at the next one.